But yeah, naturally what I was doing there was I just wasn't pressing hard enough. Probably not going to be a serious problem. Maybe a little bit with your pinky. So here's the secret to remember. You're not just pressing with your fingers. Like if that were the case, you know, if then it would be like this. Here's a finger and I'm going to press. And it'd just be like I'd be pushing the guitar away all the time. All right? You're clamping it between the finger and the thumb. The thumb really does part of the work. So if you're playing a note, that's just I'm pressing with my thumb, obviously. And then of course now here, I've kind of got like more of like a baseball bat grip sort of thing. Because you kind of see that in blues a lot where people play with their thumb over to play with it if they want and stuff. But either way, just all you have to remember is like there's a lot of valid techniques, and depending on what you're playing, the style and sort of the context, that will kind of determine it. But ultimately, the thumb is involved. So if you had a weird habit, like sometimes people will play and they'll have their thumb like way over here, and then it'll be really hard to like press with the pinky because you have no leverage. You know, you'd be trying to just imagine you're picking up a glass of milk. You know, your thumb should basically be like next to your index and middle finger all the time. You know, not like this would be really weird, or this would be like, you know, no help at all. So there's that kind of thing. Another thing is like that your tendons work best when they just go forward and backward, you know, like that. And if your wrist is bent big time, then the tendons have to go around it. And that's not ideal. If you play long enough like that, it can kind of hurt. But I mean, mine is never perfectly straight, but it's usually pretty close. It's like, you know, like right here, it's basically straight. Yeah, I guess it is kind of perfectly straight. But there's certain times when I know it's not. Like if I was going to play something fast, that's still pretty straight. You just have to watch out for it because I've never, ever had any problem with tendonitis or anything. But in school, a lot of people were coming down with it, you know, like it was catching. I always thought it was people who kind of had like an excuse. But maybe, I don't know, maybe they just had the bad technique or something. So you guys kind of watch out for that. That's about it. You know, we're not talking about much about picking yet or anything. We're just learning some cool songs. And then as you get better at those ones, we'll learn more cool songs. And the songs will just get cooler and harder. And as they get more challenging, you know, that'll be fun. As long as, I mean, an easy song can be, when you're beginning, is challenging. And a hard song when you've been playing for a while is no more challenging. It's just that you've gotten to that space now, and it always seems more challenging. But if you reflect to day one, it wasn't. You know, like day one was hard too. But enjoy the challenge, and just as long as you remember, it's always a fun thing, and play every day. It's important to do it every day. Here's what I would do. I would save the try element for the amount of time, but as far as picking it up every day, I try to take that as like an absolute. So people recommend that you practice a half hour a day. That's what people say. And I don't even know. I'm just saying practice, but you switch the word practice with play, and it's the same. Like. If you give a kid a basketball and the recess bell rings, he goes out and he's shooting hoops. If you went to ask him, are you practicing basketball or playing basketball? He's never even heard of the concept practicing basketball, you know, but he's getting better nonetheless. So we want to make sure we have like the mental framing, that we have the connotation right. They're just having a good time. We like guitar. We want to be able to play. And so we play, and we are actually playing and having fun. So I wouldn't keep a goal in the future as far as like things you want to be able to do. Like, don't think like that necessarily, because that's a moving goal. And also it's usually vague and not well defined. And so our happiness is always over there in the future. And then it's kind of a mirage, you know, that's never goes away. So you always chase it. That kind of, in the long run, it doesn't really, it's kind of not so great. Instead, what you want is, you want to play guitar. And if you want to play guitar and you pick it up and it's like a video game, you are pressing buttons, you know, then you are playing the guitar. So it's like, think of it less like a scale where I'm getting better and I'm as happy with myself as I am you know, like proportionately on that scale of quality, right? Because that, first of all, that's the best is a matter of standards, and a rational person sets their own standards. I would say, and especially in an artistic realm of personal happiness and all that stuff. So, instead of thinking about being on a scale like that, think about being off or on switch. Am I holding it? You know, am I playing a little bit? You know, then I'm doing it, and then you're that's all you should want. It's just to want to do it and then be doing it, and then you're basically every moment doing it is right where you want to be. That's the perfect place, and yeah, that's about that, man. I think there was something else. Oh yeah, every day. So if you can't do 30, and these are already kind of gross terms, like if you can't do 30, like that's not the way we're supposed to be thinking. It's not really, we're not really shouldn't be worried about can we get 30. We're supposed to be just wanting to play and then picking it up and playing. That's really what we want. But all the same, don't let a day go missed. And what that means is like, if you have a busy day or something, or if you like, I like to play Dota to wind down, you know. And then once I'm playing it, I realize I'm not winding down because I'm shouting down people and fucking calling them names and stuff. But like, before it's like, if you haven't played and you want to open up a game or something, sneak in 5 minutes first. You know, it basically what you want to do is you want to build a relationship with the instrument. It eventually becomes a part of who you are. It's a thing that you do every day. You've done every day. It is the everyday you. You know, even if it's 5 minutes. So 10 minutes, 15. It's not an Olympic sport, so you'll never hurt yourself by doing too much. The more you do, the better you'll get. The more quickly you'll get awesome. But of course, again, the most important thing is we just enjoy playing. And then getting better and all those other would-be goals are guarantees, essentially. All right, dude? All right. Yeah, man, I'll